our dive into Techtonica.
No, that's at the hour now. So be switching game.
Oh, press any key to continue. I do keep forgetting that one. Alright. And I also need to come into here. Come into here and go knock. And share chat.
Start streaming. Done. Start streaming. So everything should stay.
Come on. Display properly. There we go. Hey, did you see Creative Luck is playing Techtonica? I just got the alert. Wow, the audio is perfect for once on yours to information. Yay! I'm glad it's working right.
Well, share chat removed.
Yep. There we go. Start it again. And thank you, Bill, for always checking our audio to make sure that we are not dunderheads. It's almost like we have a very patient and reliable follower who always lets us know when we've done something wrong.
Yeah. Ceramic tiles isn't being made anywhere.
Where were we at on this process? You're not accepting anything, I see that. Oh, you're not accepting anything because you're already full, which is good. That's where we want you to be.
Yep.
Alright. Ooh, that's a nice amount of gold that we have. So we're up to 332 gold bars out of 2,000 and 248 red bars out of 500.
Okay.
The red bars are pretty much set up where we don't have to be worrying about them. The gold bars require some attending.
Okay.
But I might have done it right where we just have to feed them the sedimite powder, which we are producing at various locations. Because we definitely have more scrap than we have red powder.
Yeah.
Which is only compounded because this process ends up making more scrap too. We are making the red powder in various locations. So the big question is, are we making it in those locations fast enough? There we go. That should definitely increase how much fuel can be moved. Creative, if you were talking, you've muted. I can hear him. He is kind of mumbling to himself.
Yeah, that's probably not captured because of the mumbling yet. I got like a low end on the mic.
So he was probably seeing your character dance and move, and he's like, "Are you talking? Because I'm not seeing it."
Ah. Well, yeah, that does also happen sometimes because for some reason OBS will decide to.
Yep.
I don't need my mic captured anymore.
Which is like why we do appreciate you doing the sound check, because there's been times where Luck and I will do a sound check on each other, then we'll start the game, and then you come in and go, guys, you're totally off. And you're like, we did this like yesterday. We haven't touched a thing. I don't know why it changed.
Yeah. Okay. Track first. Back to this.
We're at 432 gold bars out of 2,000, and we're at 258 out of 500 of the other one. Bloodline strike again. You know, I don't know if you've heard, like, on Wednesdays, my friend's coming over, and we are learning, hey, Slice! We have Slice and Bill together. Now we just need Prairie Wren to come in and say, hey, why aren't you playing Stationeers?
Yeah.
Like, I feel awkward playing Stationeers right now because it's like they just dropped the terrain update on the beta, but it's not really going to be worth watching. Like, it looks stunning, do not get me wrong,
Yeah.
But right now they're in the transition phase where they're like, hey, we want you to play it. We know there's going to be bugs. I'm in the, 10 minutes I was looking at it. We were already finding a few bugs in the system. Uh,
Yeah.
but it's really not set up to do a long-term play game. Uh, and I feel any effort towards it, it's going to be moot because it could literally change at any second at this point with the way the beta is set up. So, plus we are very close to the end of Techtonica, and I know Creative and I are both itching to get to Satisfactory.
Yeah. I suppose am I supposed to do Satisfactory like my world?
Yeah, you can host this time.
Yeah. I I think I might have a better computer than yours.
I'm 99% sure you have a better computer than me.
Okay.
But, I will say that I did tweak the graphics settings, and now my computer's running a much more smoothly. But
Yeah.
yes, I do think your machine is probably better off than mine. You were fixing this all about your friend. Oh, that's right. So on Wednesday, I have a friend coming over, and we are learning Godot, the game engine. Uh, he's used to do web security programming, and he's always dabbled in game dev too, but like not full blown. He's always been part of a team, and he dealt with the area he specialized in. So I have another friend who knew I was interested in learning Godot. She found me a humble bumble plan where we got to basically get an entire, $1,000 course of learning Godot for like $20. And so he's been coming over Wednesday night, and we've been learning Godot. Because one of the games that I want to make is I call Poltergeist, where you play the poltergeist and you're trying to scare away the people from your house so you can exist in peace. You just kind of struck on another idea that I have where you play the Gremlins, where you're basically trying to get people to like break all their equipment so that way they'll go away and leave you guys alone in peace. Uh, so I'm starting to get the games where you play as the things that everybody usually fights against. So yeah, Gremlin Strike Again sounds like a really good name for the sequel of the first Gremlin game. Because personally, I kind of think it would be a fun idea. My version of that twist was you were going to be the ghost in Pac-Man. Have you seen the VR Pac-Man games that people have made where you play Pac-Man in VR and the ghosts are chasing you? I know.
No.
I know. Code Bullet did a video about him making his own version of it.
Hmm.
Do you know who Code Bullet is?
Yes.
Okay.
I've watched quite a few of those. And waiting on the next ones.
No, but I've seen some horror versions of Pac-Man. Yeah, no, Code Bullet, I would say his was a horror version of Pac-Man. Of course, I've also heard people coming up with their own their own headcanon lore of Pac-Man that is basically horror style of why are the ghosts ghosts. I don't recognize the name, but so he's a ADHD Australian who likes to program AI. His avatar is basically a dude with a computer for a head.
With a Isn't it like with
with
the
the
command prompt
antenna.
as well?
Yeah. Was that?
With the command prompt as well? Something.
Actually, he has it where it has green ASCII type lettering, which is indistinguishable, except for a black bullet, where like the screen is green except for a bullet that's black in the center.
Mm,
That
okay.
that's what his avatar is supposed to be. More crushers exposed. I think it was Slice who was telling me about this room. It's starting to get exposed. I've already started to grab stuff as it pops up. It's just not fully exposed. And I know there's a upgrade thing somewhere in here.
Shit.
Right there. It's just not exposed yet. Can I cheek it? Cheese it? Nope,
Chica?
can't cheat. Can't cheese it. And then there's like one. There's that one, and then there's one over here.
I need.
There we go. Way over there.
Huh. I keep getting teleported back to the elevator.
Well, if you do something that clips you out of bounds, you'll teleport to the elevator.
That's right here. Right. Oh, right here. This. Yeah. Eh. Do.
See if we can get to it now. I did recently think a Zelda racing game would be fun, but also, why hasn't Nintendo done a Mario RST? That is a good, solid question. And the only guess I could come up with is because the age range that Nintendo tries to target doesn't usually play RTS, according to their logic, but I don't agree with that. Because I am now just envisioning an RTS where you have the Mushroom Kingdom versus Koopa's Kingdom. And I think that would be a fun game to play, to be honest. So that sand level just isn't there yet. Alright. Let's go check Excalibur to see how the research is coming along. And think of all the kingdoms they could have in their lore. The RPG, the Game Boy games, the other kingdoms. I mean, for crying out loud, like, I initially just went with the Mushroom Kingdom versus Koopa's Kingdom, but then you can throw in Calm Country as a third party, so you could have something like World of Warcraft where you have the three-way war. Which you actually kind of also tickled another idea, because one of the ideas a friend talked about, is he's seen the city builders, but what he'd love to see is like the fantasy city builder where you have to deal with like elves, humans, dwarves, and orcs, where each one has their own buildings and you gotta interact with them and build a city with all of them type of situation. And again, why haven't you seen the Mario City Builder? Where you get to basically take... I even can see where this Peach and Mario go on vacation and leave you in charge of the kingdom. And you basically do a kingdom builder. Or even hey, they're planning on going on vacation. They need to make sure you know how to do the job, so they leave you to develop Kingdom 9 type of thing. And the more you prove yourself, the more they allow you to do more stuff. What we are talking about, I can tell, is not a factory stuff. Now, you are correct. I am not I currently have no designs for a factory game in my queue, but yeah, we are talking game design. I want to eventually get to where I can build a factory game, but again, I'm looking at the courses of Godot that we're learning and how to build games off of the courses. And I do want to give a shout out to the last Jelly Bean who joined the chat, because she's also the friend that found the Humble Bundle. Alright, so... Oh yeah, no, I totally get their complex, which is again why they are currently not on any of the game lists that I am describing, because I am nowhere near being able to plot those games, let alone make them.
Yeah.
Some of the games I have thought of, which would eventually become factory making games, is they have a island survival game as part of the learning lesson, and the insanity that is my mind said, oh, so imagine you crash land your spaceship on an island and you have to build, and you have to survive. But the twist is your spaceship holds the uploaded consciousness of your whole civilization. So on top of keeping your body alive, you have to maintain the ship's physical systems and power, as well as its computer systems, or your civilization will go insane. So you have 3 different survival balancing that you have to do. And that might easily turn into a factory game if you did it right. My niece says Subnautica meets Westworld, and that's kind of where the idea started, but no, it might actually turn into a factory game. Okay, let's look at our research, because I am still trying to basically get my head wrapped around where we're at from last stream and where we need to be this stream.
Well, where we need to be is just progress a little bit. Even the slightest progression is just fine.
Yes. So, just to touch...
water wheels?
I do not. And I'll double check just to make sure. Oh, actually I do. I have 4. Where would you like them?
Or I'm building right now in Sierra.
Alright. Sierra has no water.
Oh, no, freight.
Alright. I was heading back to freight anyway, so I'm assuming you're building... Yeah, that's where you're building. Alright, let's put these up for you.
Yeah, 4 is not actually gonna do all these Mark IIs I have. I had 70.
Nice. There's the water wheels I had. So to touch base with you, we are presently working at... Ooh. Okay, you still got red stuff. That's good. We are currently working at getting the 2,000 gold bars and 500 red bars. We're making decent progress towards that, so that's good. Archive is still trying to get its sand emptied. I think we got the one scan mission thing, and now it's just the... They are ingots. Did I say something other than ingots?
You called it redstone.
You. It is ingots. I might have called it redstone, and that I'm sure most people go, well, of course he called it redstone. So we're at 299 red. We're at 595 gold. So we're making very good progress on the red, decent progress on the gold.
We still don't have a lot of room for power.
Oh, wow, that man, let's see here. Well, at least we're making net positive power.
Yeah.
What recipe are you using to make... So, to make the gold ore, which is this one, I'm using this recipe. The 60 red powder with 250 scrap. Which makes 5 times as much as the other recipe. We have this guy turning the sand into sand and the powder. This system is making the red powder. And we have 2 more on archive making the red powder.
Some room?
What was that?
Build? Would you like some room to build?
Well, I think we need to make those platforms anyway, but... so I'm not going to say no.
There you go.
Especially since this is the last level that has that continuous power, and after that we get into this different power system.
Yeah.
Which, granted, we're having power. That's not the issue. You can make the powder from red gel in the smelter. Good to know.
I'm gonna check, make sure the goat's bedding is dry.
Alright, go check on Herbie's bed. You know, there's one problem with the platform you set up above. It's disconnected. It's disconnected. I have crushers.
No, right, it is connected, but just barely by 1 block in the corner.
Oh no, so I don't know if you know this. You can tell whether a platform is connected or not because the corner pieces will light up if it's connected. If the corner pieces does not light up, then it's not connected and does not get power.
I kind of suspected that, but no, I placed for me to build that layer, I built a pillar up, but it was just like one way.
Oh,
like
go
it
check.
wasn't built right off of.
Because I see the pillar.
Yeah.
Pillar's not touching.
Yep. One little block off.
And now it's powered. Alright.
And your crushers must have been just like 1 block too tall to fit under that.
do still currently have plenty of red going in and out, so 6, 5. Actually, I need to just swap those. One of the fun bits about this particular level is we did tweak it enough that it is fully sustained. While we do technically have a few items being pulled in from the elevator to be fed in, those are now redundant systems.
Yeah.
Limestone is being brought in from the mine. Iron is being brought in. Oh, there is one item we are importing that we have to import, and that is the sand. We are pulling in sand, and that is allowing us to make, well, not to mention just the stuff over here, the red gel, which then gets fed into here to make a lot of the bio bricks, which originally was our big limiter.
Are you making excess carbon powder bricks?
Here I am not making excess carbon powdered bricks. If you go to floor 7, there might be excess carbon bricks. Okay, where are you? Yeah, in fact, I'm not making enough carbon fiber bricks on this level.
Oh.
I'm making enough to feed the bio bricks, but not the fuel refinery. I mean, if we really wanted to, we could add more Mark II planters to feed more plant matter in, and that would increase the production of carbon powder, and thus bricks. Mine is just the experimental setup to see what was needed.
Yeah. I do have to bring in steel frames. No. So then make glass filters.
Okay, here, so just so you know, the red seed, you need 15 seed to make 120 powder and 20 stems. You can use the stems in a second crusher to make 120 pink ingots and 120 blue gin and 600 plant matter, and you can make 300 powder just from that, and you'll need 6,006 from the sand pump. Well, we have talked about after we're done with Archive, we want to revisit the fuel system, because this system I've built for the fuel, it worked great for Sierra. Like, it was amazing for Sierra. We upgraded it to handle Archive, and we had to tweak it a little bit more to handle Archive. And we know that this is not going to be sufficient for level 14. This is not the best recipes to use, but at the time when we set it up, it was. But we have much better technology now, and we're just going to basically strip a lot of this away and go with this setup over here. Because you want to go big or you will be there. Yeah, no, exactly. So, like, as you can see, this is why I even call this is the experimental model, just to kind of get a feel for things. So, we make the red gel, we use the red gel to make the fuel, and that makes 56 per minute as opposed to 30. And then we throw it into here, and because we did this research, we realized we're going to need a lot more of these than 1-to-1. Yeah.
Breaker, this base is...
There it is.
This base is everything anyone could ever ask for. You've done more than rebuild the sector. You've redefined it.
I built 12 more foundations. Okay. It was just how close we were.
Mm-hmm. So, Slice, you might be able to weigh in on this discussion, because we are having a discussion about this. Because, like, we're using... In fact, let's go to the tech tree, because it's probably going to be easier to talk about in this screen. So, the biofuel unrefined is only 240. The impure fuel is 360, and the pure is 960. You can recycle the impure to get unrefined, but what is the big advantage in that if you're going from, I mean, it's 360 going down to 240? Is it simply because then you can just feed it back into this process to get more pure? Because you could just feed the impure fuel into something, because it's still more than the refined fuel. And neither one of us had sat down and actually did the math on whether it would or would not be worth it to recycle.
Yes, baby.
It just feeds back into the loop. The pure is best because it does 6 per minute. Impure does 1875 per minute. And the bio brick does... Yes. And why I understand how it feeds back into the pure loop. If you're making the pure and it takes extra time and effort to refine it to pure, I mean, yeah, as you said, it makes 18 and a half, or 18 and 3/4 per minute. But if you're making 18 and 3/4 per minute, it can run a fuel pump. Recycling it, like, I'm literally wondering if it's worth the cycle time. Okay, it was one of the, you can at least appreciate the question of, is it worth the cycle time, or is it actually easier just to throw it straight in, and if you make enough of it as a waste product, it pays for itself? You said no, it is worth recycling. Because right now, with just my lab bench scale system, the biofuel is not the bottleneck. It is the processing that is the bottleneck. It is, and you can use the impure fuel by itself. Because, yes. And it's like, why we haven't decided to massive upscale this. I'm definitely happy that we kept this system up and running because we are stockpiling it. I know that this stockpile is kind of a laugh and a sneeze at what we're going to need, but it allows us to have a buffer for if anything goes sideways.
Yeah.
As things always do. Alright. Do we have red powder? No. And yes. Alright. So we're at 332 gold, 337 red.
I hear someone yawning in the background.
Oh, I'll give you a pretty strong hint that it's not me yawning.
Yep. Wait. I don't need that. Alright. What I do need is to actually get up and get...
My wife is enjoying a game of Disney Dreamlight Valley and Merge Dragon at the same time.
Oh. Well, if you need any Mark III conveyor belts, we got 8,000 of them.
I have 3,800 of them on me.
Okay.
Alright, there's the exit.
You... Ah, that's the one.
One of the things I think is kind of just unnecessary is not only do they increase the rate of which the sand piles up on you, they also make the sand pumps less efficient each level. Like, I think I could respect it if they just, like, oh, each level you go up, you're going to have to mine it faster because it refills faster. Alright, I get that. Oh, and each level each sand pump does less. It's like, that. It is only 14, that's the hardest. But my point is they should have picked one, not both. And it looks like there's going to be a tunnel that just goes straight in, and all that mining was unnecessary. But we are getting towards where we're almost done with Archive. I do suspect that if we wanted to, we could abandon it and it wouldn't be that huge of a concern.
Probably.
Oh, and that's what the stone looks like when it's fully exposed, as opposed to just the very top of it. I clipped through the wall. Alright. Let's go to Excalibur and check out how the drills are doing, as well as the research. How are you doing, Mr. Drill? You are still missing an actuator. Actuator is missing motors. Alright. And you're making motors on an admin, correct?
Yep. The red one, yep. I'm starting seed. Duplication.
And now we get to go see the mega factory that we have built. Okay, here you go. If you make 720 pure fuel, you reuse the impure one time to feed back into the loop, you will make 900 pure, and the byproduct of impure of 2100 impure that can power 100 or 150 sand pumps from pure fuel and 11.2 sand pumps from impure. So you will make 16,120 sand. And you still need to convert a lot of these Mark 1s into Mark 2s.
What?
I'm down at level 1 of admin. It would appear you're still using Mark 1 planters.
Planters, yeah. All of those, yeah.
Did you make it a lower level? You did. Ah.
Just for seeds, yeah.
Yep. Mark II planters are OP because I just need 15 Mark II planters for my thrashers. Oh, those are your blast smelters, which are not getting any fuel.
What? It should be.
They are not. They aren't getting any more blasts. And this is why we periodically do inspections.
Only one of these is going. Looks like you're missing fiber.
There we go. Looks like you guys need to use the recipe that uses powdered plant matter brick, systemite gel, and carbon powder to make. We've discussed it. Go for a solid 500.
Now, why the fuck is it being painted?
Okay, either I'm clipping through the wall and getting a really cool effect, or you did a really good job clearing out the roof of admin. I'm pretty sure it's the former, not the latter. But actually, that is kind of cool. Alright, cool effect aside.
Oh, what did you like?
My head clipped through the wall where I could see through the texture.
Uh,
Alright. So that should start feeding the drills again. Yeah, I even unlocked. Oh, wait, no, I haven't unlocked it. Or did we unlock it and then unlock it again? But there you go. There's the recipe that he was talking about. Let's see here. There's a recipe in the crusher that makes the blue gel.
oh. Oh. It's the fact that I don't. That's what I think was the problem. The Kindle Vine extract is not being like overflow destroyed.
Because right there, we have it unlocked. Thrasher recipe enables lossless thrashing of gel back into the extract. There's the compression. It's in the crusher though. Alright, so following the crusher's logic. Da, 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 da. Is it bioextraction? Enables the filtration of biological materials from scrap ore and compression of surplus materials. Alright. Unlocked that one.
then I'll be making a limestone. Alright. Filling it up fast enough.
It takes 6 compact scrap and 60 gravel and makes 120 blue gen and more gravel. Don't feel bad, Slice, you know. Words are hard.
Yep.
Evelyn and Caitlin have an entire product line on their e-store for that. Ooh, that means something didn't go right. That means we ran out of red gel. Or red, not gel, red powder. Because I ended up getting copper mechanisms, iron mechanisms, and gearboxes from the scrap, which means at least one cycle, if not more, didn't have the red powder.
Okay.
For now, I'm going to disable you just until we can build up some red powder. And we are processing red powder. We're at 946 gold and 378 reds.
This smelted as well. Line.
Okay, and that's backed up, so that means we are doing fine on that.
Okay.
Just make a battery factory to make the ingots you need.
Could you make me like just another batch of Smelter Mark III?
Let me... What do I need? Do we have any excessive carbon frames? Yes, actually we do.
Oh yeah, you brought it or gave it to me.
Hmm? Oh no, I have in my possession extra frames because when, oh, I'm glad I caught it because I needed to give you the green slabs. I set up a thing to make the carbon powder with the mining drill, and it's feeding up and has been making the frames, and I got a backlog. How many did you need, by the way?
Just like another 4 times.
Because I have 3 on me right now.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
There you go. And one of the big questions I find myself asking is when we do hit the bottom of archive, do we want to completely abandon it, or do we want to set it up where we simply maintain the level? Which, with that statement said, I am going to go check Sierra, because we haven't checked Sierra at all today.
Oh no.
I see full power on the accumulators, but I'm still gonna check it out. Because it looks like we don't have full power to the accumulators. We're not getting fuel to the thing. Where are we missing? Biofuel bricks. You are missing... Oh, looks like we finally ran out of limestone.
Oh. I am pulling limestone from level 5 now. Is I think Mark 1 smelters need them, or need limestone.
Well, I found a whole lot of limestone that was just stored somewhere, and I'm putting it in the crate for it. I mean, we have a few chests that are just full of limestone that can be moved over here.
Yeah.
And while I'm here, how does the iron look? I can top it off.
And with that, I am producing some more carbon powder.
Wait, no, I wanted to be on this one.
So I think I'd have to place it here.
And Slice, I know you're talking about building a factory to make the ingots. The red one, I have it on a... I don't need to pay attention to the red ingot loop. But the gold loop, that's where I'm not even... I don't know whether we're going to be needing a huge gold loop or not. Admittedly, it may just be optimism to the point that my head is not where it needs to be, but I kind of feel like we're getting close to that point where we're almost there, so I'm starting to question whether I should completely dump effort into the project. And I repeat, I openly acknowledging it's already probably, yeah, I should probably just do it. But we're already halfway through our gold needs. We're almost done with our red needs. And I also have to bring up a question to Creative of, have you bothered to automate sand pumps?
Not yet, but it does have that space allocated to it, so I
Okay,
could put
because
as much as I could to it.
Because we will be needing more sand pumps. We do not have enough sand pumps to get through.
The only thing I'm not making here would be the actuators, but everything else is fine.
17 a minute. 60. 17 a minute.
Carbon frame. Yeah, that's
48 a minute. I would have had just given them all my smelters.
I got 2 of them still. You want them?
I could, yeah, I could use them. That would speed things up. I'm on freight.
Freight. There.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just needed 1 more in order to get rid of excess Kindle Vine extract,
Gotcha.
which gave me a little bit of a source of carbon powder. Let's see. Any of these? Bring it over. Nope. And no. So I need blue extract, mechanical component, frame.
That should give me 51 reds, which is less than what I'm using.
I believe
You technically are being used, but you are now redundant.
there's that part. Nothing past that needs any.
Oh, and that was not a Mark. That was a Mark 1? Huh? No, it was Mark 2. Okay.
Okay. So I need. Well. Not mean to do that. Just place it right here. So this is. Okay. 4.
Alright, let's look at our research tree. We have 100.
Here.
Well, there's the reason to do gold right there, is to get gold cores, or yellow cores.
Hmm.
And Slice can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm imagining to do the spectral cube colorless, we're going to have to use gold research to unlock it. And I still think we're going to have to scan Mirage to enable to open that research. And if We get to pick the color that we put ourselves in the cube. I pick blue.
Okay. I'll do green.
Paladin already took green.
Shit. I don't find him for it. I think I can win against
I think
cube.
he already. Well, I think he already won because he's already an emerald. Oh, actually, so I pick sapphire because if you actually pay attention, the cubes are actually like Amanda is in a garnet cube. Paladin is in a emerald cube. So I'm guessing we're going to find that Mirage is in a garnet cube. Wait, no, that's garnet.
Oh.
So Ruby, she'll be in a Ruby cube.
Power's having fun. Just barely, though. Gonna hook up water wheels, so I'm gonna be able to do more power that way. Just need mechanical components in the blue. And let's do this way.
So also inquiring minds do inquire. So I noticed that we have 1,000 or 108,000 more meters to excavate up before we get to level 15. Which is going to take a good long while. I also know that pumping out 14 is going to take a good long while. Did the game designers take into account that I could ignore 14 to get all the way up to 15, or do we need to do 14? We're going to do 14 regardless. I'm just kind of curious if the game thought that way.
Well, there might be a 16, and then you have to do the next one.
I'm wondering if they realized we could skip 14 since they haven't locked us out and we have all the technology we need to just mine above, just mine through 14. Sometimes they will even do it on purpose where they fully understand that you can brute force it, but if you go through the whole process, you realize you would have been better off not brute forcing it and just playing along, because if you play along, they do something and all of a sudden things work better and you shouldn't have brute forced it.
Yeah. Should send mechanical components to the right one.
Another row of crushers exposed. So we're at 15 of the stolen. 16, because I was able to see through the sand, and 17.
Shit.
18. Haha.
Well, I forgot to limit the storage, so we have 1,650 Mark 1 crank generators.
Well, with the way you build, that might not be enough.
Well, I'm turning them into Mark 2s automatically, so... Oh, you can't...
Looks like there's no hidden way in. Just have to wait for the sand to get down.
Okay. That's that. That's where I need the, it says my powder. Unstable seed pod.
Alright, let's go check on what's going on now that I've kind of killed some time. That's quite a bit of gold ore. Put that in. Alright. Got plenty of that. Plenty of that. You got that. And since I'm making 51 a minute and this needs 60, we are actually doing fairly decently where we only lose 9 a minute. But it does look like the gel's not keeping up. It's only making 48 a minute.
Okay. Water wheel. Got 48 of those. Crank generator. 212. Right. I suppose what would have been worthwhile because like the water wheels, they can connect to each other.
Yes.
So just connect like 50 of them on the water here, and then just have crank generators just going as far as it could.
Do I have any Mark II planters? Nope.
I have 2 on me, I think. And I'm at freight.
These two are one of these three. Oh wow. Okay, drop down. Oh, you already did it. Okay, good, good. This needs 600. Oh wow, that actually uses a lot. 600 per minute.
What? Oh, power?
No, no. To make the blue the blue gel, it takes 600 extract per minute to produce 24. I mean, granted, to make the red gel at 48, you just need 2 per minute. So, in theory, we are definitely making more than enough red gel. I mean, blue gel.
Okay.
So, we should be good.
What the? That's okay. Okay, I see. There was another thing.
And
I messed
another
up.
thing? Sorry.
Well,
My wife has
this
already gone to...
half. Oh, she's going to
Had
bed.
my... Yeah, oh, had she not already gone to bed when I repeated the and another thing, she would have busted up laughing. Because oftentimes she'll talk about how life hits her with, and another thing. So it's a commonly a phrase she uses quite often.
Yeah. Well, this one half of the crank generators, they weren't even connected to the elevator.
Oh, joy.
So I just connected it all, and it's like got like more than half, or we're only using less than half of the power available.
I was saying, because I did see that we were having power issues, but I know you are also working on it, so I didn't felt it was right to say anything. Great. Let's pick up some more of these storage. Let's go respawn. Let's go check out where we're at on Archive.
I remember having to put an auto shield field up around those cauldron giant plants to keep them from getting chopped down. We realized early on that natural sources of light were worth keeping around. Plenty of room to build factories by cutting into walls. You don't always need to kill the view.
Too bad.
Come on, let me crawl in there and just dig the sand out by hand.
You're like, I can taste it.
I can see the top part of the door. Like, no, if we were here in real life, I would be going, that's close enough, and I'd be crawling in there and digging the sand out by hand. Or especially since, like, the sand is normally high right there, and where on other parts of the structure, the sand is lower.
Yeah.
But yes, we can actually see the doorway. Alright, 14. I need to remember 114, because if it's still at 114 later on, then we know it has stopped.
Oh, is that how you're getting the desmite powder? You're just doing the plant? No?
For which powder?
Desmite powder, red powder.
The red powder? I'm actually doing it every way I can, so to speak.
Oh, where's the carbon bricks at? Which floor?
The carbon bricks I am doing on Sierra. And they're being turned into frames on Excalibur. And there is a buffer chest, although I emptied it last time I was there.
Well, this is an easy fix. Let me just
One of the other
change
ways
this.
I'm making the powder is I'm taking the red gel and running that through the furnace.
You know, if slicing it, what you did with the belts, he'd be like, hey, there's elevator, you know, or like the vertical belts.
Oh, are you talking about on freight? How I just kind of just did whatever?
No. Ooh. Ah, that's why you had it as this, okay. Sierra.
Oh yeah, Sierra, I just hodgepodged it. With my original intent, I did not think we would have still had it running as it is. Excalibur, that's what. And it is indeed still going through the process. So, greens are still working.
Oh, ambulance.
So, Slice, if you're still there, I do have a question about level 14. Because in all the other levels, we've made a point to put the sand pumps where they go all the way down to the very bottom. Currently, I have four of them. I have 4 of them stacked on a close enough hole where it doesn't go all the way down, but it's pretty darn close. But we need a crap ton of sand pumps on this level. Is it going to be, I'm going to have multiple towers, or do we just like shimmy it over and then go all the way up? And I think I just answered my question, but
well,
because we can either mine up or we could shimmy these over ever so slightly and just go all the way up. Because again, this isn't exactly perfect. There's about 5,000 milliliter difference between this and the bottom. Yeah. But it does look like Creative and I came out to kind of have the same thought process, because I came out here, started already talking to Slice, and then I happened to notice that Creative was sitting there.
oh, this is as tall as, or as high as it could be.
Well, we could just put them side by side.
Yeah.
That would make the logistical train somewhat easier.
It is a 12 by 12, right? For the sand pump, it seems. Yeah. It does seem that case. Hmm.
And while I know there's probably a faster way to do it, this is just where my brain goes, start here. Oh, and that's right, I can also examine this room to make sure that this room is indeed empty. That's why I keep coming to this room, is to make sure that it's completely empty. Okay, you're right there.
Geez, a third one? Hmm.
Well, on the plus side, we are now less than 100,000 meters to the next level.
Yeah.
We still have a very long way to go. This is so close and yet so far. You said there was a crouch command? Let's see here.
Well, I've just there is a crouch, but like I did it by going like headbutting a low foundation,
Gotcha.
and it goes to a point.
And it won't let me. I can't do that nice little cheat where I put a. I force that issue. It won't let me build in this zone. Because it's in a zone of protection. But we are very, very close to being done with this particular level.
Okay.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. There's technically a step down, and that's why I'm like, wait a minute. That door looks like it's for a homunculus. Like I'm standing on a platform, and then judging by the angle, it would only go to half my rib cage. Is it for short people? No. These are steps. They go down. Use the lights as a reference to know where the base is. And no, it's about maybe hip level, if I had to judge. Alright, we'll come back to this. Alright, we are now definitely making enough red gel that we're not falling behind. And we're technically not making enough. Like, we are, but we aren't making enough for help. It's just, it's not automated. Alright, we need 21 more red. And just short of 600 gold. Yeah, as it gives you the gel, that would definitely kind of bypass the whole needing the blue extract.
So just need the actuators, and then the sand pump would be automated.
You need to grab. Oh, you're talking about automation. Never mind. Like, if you need some actuators, I am making them on level 7. but you kind of got to babysit them.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so carbon frame space is allocated here. Is it just the? I think it was just the actuator that needed carbon frame, right?
If I remember correctly.
The other thing just needed glass.
No, that one also needs carbon frames.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, because you're talking about the sensor.
Yep. Sensor and actuator. Okay. And actuator's just terrible for carbon frames. Which I'm completely fine with just having one actuator. Or well, 36 a minute each. Just require the carbon bricks to be brought here, which I did. I did add admin as a floor where carbon bricks are going to.
Okay.
Is level 7 was full, and the conveyor belt was all full as well. Okay. Let me bring the actual carbon bricks this way. Move this build this way. I'm not going to bring it. Let's just put it here. Probably the same level as you. Bring it forward. Dodge. Side.
Alright, there we go. We're going to get some of that going. Good.
This. This. And then with that, the carbon bricks would be brought over to this place. Then I just need to add Right.
Alright, let's go check out Excalibur. I haven't been there in a bit. And we probably should make a detour to Sierra just to check on how things go there. Your output is full. You are waiting on carbon frames, which there are plenty of. Ah, there we go. That's answer. Okay. Did you automate the thrashers?
Yes.
Tier 2s?
Yes.
Level 3?
Yes.
There's the planter. There we go, Thrasher. Alrighty, let's go take these down to a place we haven't been for a while. Level 3, storage.
This looks like some kind of archive. Probably where Mirage socked away the best stuff she found at the dig sites.
A seemingly random collection. Without an ability to read the runes, she had no idea what she was doing.
But it's so well organized.
A surprisingly common trait of officers who have no idea what they are doing.
I can detect a keycard on the desk in that office, sir. But it seems like Mirage locked this door personally. Any chance you can do that Zeta 17 trick of yours to open it?
No. It seems the Major kept this door locked with a cipher from before she was demoted. My override would have no effect.
So what do we do then? We have to get through here.
Task inbound. Illegal override. Sparks. Approach the door.
That distortion. You saved us from the freight elevator crash. Who are you?
Identity. Undisclosed. Multiple incidents. Things verified. Distance from your current position exceeds prospect of rescue versus greater priorities.
I'm not sure what our ability to rescue whoever this is has to do with a refusal to identify themselves.
I do. I know who this is.
You do not know. Data indicates a request for you to remember them only as they existed previously. Rationale? Undisclosed.
Yeah. That sounds like them too. Both of us, actually.
Sergeant.
I was wrong, sir. I don't know who that is. But I know we can trust them.
You can. Always. Initiating override.
This godforsaken alien language has reduced every translation algorithm we have to a state of insanity. The more glyphs I feed into it, the more gibberish it returns. But I digress. The silver lining of this endeavor has been another discovery entirely. A substance found throughout the sands and vegetation of Sector Sierra, which I have named sesamite. Sesamite possesses an untapped potential that our initial scans of the area would not have detected, and I am fortunate it did not. Pacific would have never given me the sector for myself and my drones if it was. I'm going to send an insignificant amount of it to my colleagues in Sector Victor to keep them at bay, though without any of my findings attached. I'm certain they will see nothing in it. They never fail to disappoint. As for the rest of it, I will divert it to my own laboratory and continue to have more of it brought in by my mechanical assistants. It is the only way this work will be completed, instead of mired in mediocrity.
There seems to be an access code here, sir. Likely for the private lab she mentioned.
With any fortune, that will be precisely where we find her. As you were, Groundbreaker.
Alrighty. So in a bit, we'll get the message that we need to go to Sierra and tag the buildings. That way, it will tell us to go to the location that I just was at.
Okay.
So be prepared.
So you sure do like beating them to the punch.
It's not my fault.
They're just not quick enough.
Well, the comment that comes to mind... Ooh, and I completely forgot about that group. Yay, more powder. I have told you how my niece says that I have to give spoiler warnings when I make predictions. Like, if we're watching a show, I have to go spoiler warning to make a prediction, because she goes, your predictions are as good as spoilers. It's like, sweetie, I hate to break it to you, Echo's going to die. No, he's not. You're just saying that because he's my favorite character. No, sweetie, Echo's going to die. I mean, let's take a look at this. He can't kill Hunter. Hunter's the point of view main character. He can't kill Omega for obvious reasons. Wrecker's the childlike character. And Crosshair's the villain. Which leaves, she goes, God fucking damn it, Dave! Because, you know, Dave Filoni likes to kill off her favorite characters. Alright, so... I keep teasing my niece that she would both love and hate if I joined Dave at the Knights of the... or the Nerds of the Round Table. Because she would love it because she knows I can tell epic stories, but she would hate it because she knows the epic stories I would tell would tear at her.
Yeah.
And her dad would just be sitting down next to her and just nod his head as he curls into a ball and starts talking about Balrogs. We used to do the RPG games, and yeah, I had his character be tormented by a Balrog. I never told him what the character was. I only described it. So when we go to the theaters and watch Lords of the Ring together, the creature, you know, they do the whole ominous bit, and the creature emerges, and all of a sudden my brother grabs my hand and squeezes it like he's like he's in a like, oh my frigging! He was having a legit panic attack as he recognized the creature that tortured his character. Like, no. I didn't traumatize my brother's character. I traumatized my brother. And the one my wife loves to talk about is, now mind you, my brother and I did these games back in when I was in high school. Gather around, children, we'll talk about the before times, before the internet, and before Google existed. Yeah, back when I was in high school. This is when we did these campaigns. So, you know, it's been a lifetime since we did them. Several months ago, my brother calls me at like 5 in the morning because he's having a panic attack because he's having to drive through purple fog. Because the sun was at just the right angle that it made the fog in the morning purple, and he was having a panic attack because that was my GM plot device, was purple mist. So then at one point he's tormenting my niece because he GM for my niece, and so he's tormenting her on what he did to her, and I'm like, I pull up a picture, I go, show him this. What is this? Just show him the picture. A few minutes later, I get a text from my brother. You're an asshole. I sent him a picture of I sent her a picture of what's called a lizard mage. The fun story, because I did explain it to my niece. It's like, oh yeah, that's the lizard mage. So like your dad obsessed over this character called Dreamer, which Dreamer was he appeared as an elf, and whenever you were in desperate need, Dreamer, you would have an urge to look behind you, and there Dreamer would be. Dreamer could sell you anything your heart's desired, but at a cost, not of gold, but of magic. My brother did not trust this character at all, but he trusted the lizard mage. And I'm even like, when he's like, but he had a purple cloak on. That's a sign that he's aberrant. That, like, yes, he's evil, but he has a code of conduct. He would never lie. I go, Senor, when you met the man, he had a partner who was wearing a white cloak, which normally represents principle, the ultimate good people. Do you remember what act they performed together? They attacked a millennia tree and put it into a runic weapon, and would that be considered an act of good or an act of evil? That's an act of evil. Would a principal character ever be caught dead doing something like that? No. But according to your own rules, a supernatural creature cannot hide their alignment. It's part of the rules, and you never looked at his feet. Wait, what? He's a 9-foot-tall lizard creature who usually has some ornamented stuff around his head and neck. You never looked at his feet. I made it very clear with the one guy wearing white, you can't trust the white to show their alignment, and you never bothered to look anywhere else. Yes, supernatural creatures cannot hide what they are, but a lizard mage is powerful enough that they're aware of this, so they do something to fool you. And clearly it worked, because you never looked at his feet, and if you had ever looked at his feet, you would never have trusted him to begin with. And he's like, oh shit, that's right, I never looked at his feet, because again, he's 9 foot tall, and I was always looking up to him. Yeah, solid point. Oh, my niece is like, oh my goodness, I can't believe my dad let that guy just work him like a pawn. I go, oh no, sweetie, it gets even better. At one point, I took pity on your dad, and I actually arranged it where the lizard mage died. My brother, your dad, resurrected the guy. And she goes, wait. So my dad resurrected his villain? Yes.
Ooh.
Oh. Fun times, fun times.
You s- and that was back when you played D&D, or?
It was Palladium, but yeah, that was back when, like, God, it was almost 30 years ago.
Mm.
Oh, I did so much stuff to my brother. And the part I always love is I had a very good way of, it's like, oh, I can't believe you would screw over your player like that. I go, I didn't screw over my player. He screwed over himself. Wait, what? Oh, yeah. So I did time dilation stuff where, like, he didn't know when in time he was. So, like, one of the fun stories to tell is, so I will speak chronologically in the time my brother perceived the campaign. That's the best way to describe it and have you track it. So he starts the campaign, and one of the first things he has to do is go down to a swamp and clear out an infestation of lizardmen, which he does without a problem. At one point, he goes, "We need to bring civilization to this area." So he arranges for flying transports to bring people so he can staff a city. The transports keep disappearing. So at one point he finally goes, okay, I'm going to go into the transport and see what the hell's going on. Well, they end up flying through a portal where a alien creature makes it very clear that all the people who have been disappearing has been showing up to him, and he's been selling them in an alien slave market. He sees my brother, does not fight, does not yell, just pulls out a bag of coin and hands it to my brother and walks away. Would this raise any questions to you?
Yeah?
He was just, ooh, money, and didn't bother to be like, why are you handing me this money? He just accepted the money and went along, just like, all right, we figured out what's going on. I got the money, and let's find the source of these portals. And they found an iron golem that had a circlet in its head that allowed it to open these portals. And he ended up destroying it, and everything started to work. Fast forward a few purple mists. He's now disconnected from his supply chains, and he's like, all right, we need to set up a new base of operations. You know what? We know about a complex in the swamps, but who the hell are we going to get to run a base in the swamp? You know what? The lizardmen really like that base. So let's go find a bunch of lizardmen, and we will get this complex up and running. So he's moving the lizardmen into the thing, and his officer comes up and goes, we have an intel report of a small band approaching from the west. My brother looks at me, and I look at him, and he goes, is it flying a standard I know? I go, yeah, it's flying your standard. All right, everybody pack up, let's leave. We have to leave the lizard people to their own fate. They've already been defeated, they just don't know it yet. And someone looked at my brother and goes, what's going on? I'm coming to kick my own ass! Because my brother recognized what time he was in, and that he was the army approaching. The whole reason the lizardmen were there to begin with was because he brought them there, and now he's on his way to kick his ass to clear the infestation.
Sound elevation diminished. Local signal deciphered. Report
So-
to production
wow.
terminal radio
Oh,
for
it
triangulation.
gets better. So he abandons that complex and he goes, oh shit, we need money. We need money bad. Wizard. So I have this idea. So a while back, we ended up like encountering a golem that like opened portals, and it sent the people to a slave market, and that's how, and they got sold. Could you make something like that? And the guy's like, it'll take me a bit, but yeah, I'll look into that. A few weeks later, the guy comes up and goes, yeah, I made this golem and I made this gold band so that way it can cast spells. And yeah, it works. Here it is. And my brother goes, I recognize it, don't I? Go, yeah, it's exactly as you described it to him. It's the golem that you defeated already. Says, oh my god! I go, oh, you want to hear the real kicker? The real kick in the balls? He goes, what? You already got paid. Oh my god, I did already get paid! And you never asked why he just handed you money! The funny part is, do you want to know how much real time existed between these events? 2 years. We had been playing the game for 2 years before the past and future met. So I predicted my brother's movements 2 years in advance. To the point I was able to pay him a large sum of money and have him not question why he was getting paid a large sum of money for something he does in 2 years in the future.
Wow.
So, yeah, don't talk about Balrogs in front of my brother, and do not mention fourth dimensional physics when I'm in the room, because he will like, ah! But you gotta admit, those are some great, it's almost too strange to be true, but that is how it happened.
Eh. You got you said you had seismite powder coming in somewhere?
I'm making it on level, so the powder you can find on several levels. Sierra is making it back in that power room, the sand pump area that I had set up. On Archive.
Well, I'd like to send some powder, like dedicate powder to going into the elevator into admin.
You want to hear a better idea on how to do that?
The crop, I'm guessing.
Huh? Send sand and have a crusher crush the sand and give you additional power, which I know is also an issue. And then you can get some of the powder from the sand.
I don't have any crushers. I don't really have a whole lot of space on the first floor.
There's 12 crushers in admin. And I will also tell you this much: when I'm done with the gold, I will reroute the red powder I'm making to admin.
Yeah, I just need it for the unstable seed pod. Need 100 of them each time.
And we have we have 52 red ingots that are pure surplus.
Okay. So I need this and ooh, that's pretty slow.
Actually, it looks like I have ran out of scrap. The way I said to make the red powder, you need a lot of it in this game, is way better. Friend, you're basically saying to ramp up this thing, right? Because I've had a lot of red balloons since you last said how to do it.
Oh.
This seed to the crusher through this setup. Because, like, we get the crystal. And then with the gel. With the gel and the sand, we can make the red gel. And then bake the red gel into the powder. Is that what you were referring to? Yeah.
So you got Sesmite sand being brought to admin?
We can get that taken care of.
Okay.
And how are you getting... I have been using the blast drill. I have a regular drill nearby, but I've been using a blast drill, but I've been doing it manually because where I blast the scrap is very far to set up a logistical chain. And I have been lazy. How much blast do I have? Okay, I have... Because let me drop this off and see how much more gold we are short by. Don't be lazy, get it done. Well, okay, I need 150. I kind of suspect that this one is not the ideal spot to mine scrap. And that's why I haven't set it up permanently, and I could be wrong. In fact, if you say I'm wrong, we can put in the infrastructure to get the blast over here. Because I've been coming to this guy, and... When you get this tier done, you don't need the next one. Oh. By the way, then you get this tier done. Don't do the next one without at Luckman.
Without me?
I think I know what he's saying, but... Oh. Are you talking about don't do tier 14 or tier 15 without him?
Oh, is it supposed to be like the end of the game sort of thing?
That is what I'm assuming he is saying.
Sand. Okay.
Especially since you know my predictions when he says don't do it without him. I was like, yes, I got you. I'm tracking. I have not looked like the closest thing I got to spoilers in this was I heard a bunch of people complaining about how level 14 in the sand pumps were just horrible. You can beat the game without needing to do 14 and 15, but you will miss storylines. Okay, and that answers the question I was asking earlier, and I will say, it's good for me to know that so I don't accidentally beat the game without completing the storyline. Rip my wife seeing the Master Sword story arc in Tears of the Kingdom. I thought I was doing side quests. It was a main story quest. Oops. Yeah, no, it's kind of like my wife even found it hilarious because I'm like, yeah, I will only do this main story quest when you're home, and I will just do all the little stuff when you're not home. And I was chasing down what I thought was a little thing, and it turned out to be the quest to get the Master Sword. With huge story implications, and I'm like, I didn't know! Breath of the Wild had a similar side arc, which was not important. Alright, I think that's good for now. That will probably get me the remaining gold I need.
Okay.
So Slice, just because, as discussed, we don't want to end the game prematurely, I don't want to research this until we are ready to beat the game, correct? Because if you... Okay. So, because that has been my projection, that has been my prediction, and that's one reason I was asking, can we get past 14 and beat the game without doing 14? Because I think I can speak for Luck where we want to go through the story. We want to do those things.
Yeah.
You can do anything before doing the cube. Yeah. Like I said, that you're basically telling me my projections and my predictions are correct, at least as far as we need to know, and that my assumption is don't do that until we're ready to end. Okay. That's right. I need to go to Freight. And I think you were actually gone for the part where, like, I went to 14 to kind of think about how to move forward. Yep, I know we'll say this, the cube is not cheap. I didn't think it would be. And do we have to make 2 of them? Of course, and there's also lots more than 2. Okay.
Okay. Oh. 1 per minute for 17 hours.
Interesting.
Damn.
So clearly we aren't the only ones that need to go into the cube. My projection that we mess things up by going into the cryopod and not being cubified, I'm guessing the entire expedition crew of Excalibur needs to go into a cube.
Perhaps.
You will see the story. I won't say anything. I appreciate you not saying it. The only reason I say it aloud is not to get validation now, but so that way when the game does happen, we will be able to, like, if it does happen, I'm not saying I'm right, but if I am right, then I can say, all right, I called it, or not call it, because I keep trying to tell my niece, you can't claim a projection, you can't claim a prediction if you only tell someone after the events happen. You can't go, well, I knew that would happen, and count it as a projection, because anyone can just sit there and say it after the fact. You need to say it beforehand. Yeah, I think whatever, the way the story's been going, I do not think we will be disappointed. Admittedly, I think we're a little disappointed to hear that if we made one a minute, it will take 17 hours, because that sounds like a grind for the sake of a grind. But that's a different topic. Although, with that said, my brain now jumping onto another possibility field. You say, once we get to the cube, if we make one a minute, it will take 17 hours to get it done. Does that mean we could start making the cube and not be in endgame, or is there an intermediate period where you have to be past this point together, but after that start the cube? Yes, it is a grind, and yes, I will say there is more you can make after the first row of cubes, like 8 tiers of cubes. You have to be in tier 8 to make the first one. Alright! So the answer to this is we are definitely not beating it tonight, and we are probably not beating it tomorrow night or the night after that.
Yeah.
This knowledge does not sadden me. You will have like easy, maybe 2 more weeks easy. Okay.
Okay.
This news does not sadden me. It does tell me not to get too eager, though.
Yeah.
Alright. I think we are done completely with level 30. Oh, I was almost right. There's 2 drill bits. Yay! Alright. I think we are done with level 13. Unless Slice tells me I am wrong, I think we got everything we need from it. But you guys have not got to my favorite part yet, because you don't have that level yet. That is fair. And I will be honest, I would hope that with the video game design that you save the best towards the last. Alright.
And not just be a grind and that's it.
So, now here's the question for you, Mr. Luck. Do we wish to preserve level 13? Or are we okay shutting it down?
Like the sand is just gonna be done in level 14 then?
That, like, we're technically still mining level 12 and keeping it low. But do we want to maintain 13, or do we want to shut down 13 and put all the resources towards doing 14?
Suppose we can shut it down.
Okay.
Unless Slice knows something we don't. All the way at the bottom, right?
Well, according to the thing, there's 72,000 milliliters to the very, very bottom. I was able to go through the grinding room you told me about. I was able to go through and get everything out of that, and that room's completely emptied. I was able to go through and find the room down below. Okay.
I'm at the bottom of the sand.
Oh, just open up. Yeah, okay.
We're good. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna leave the current existing system still, like, I removed some of it, but my brain just told me, oh wait, we can't remove it completely until we get 14 started, because we actually are using some of this sand.
Yeah.
But we could take away the additional sand pumps so we can just move them over to 14 to get things going. Question.
Answer.
How much iron frames and copper frames and steel frames do you make per minute? That would be a luck question.
Let's see. So far, I only have 60 a minute of ingots going into the system. I can add more because the thing is being backed up. Let's see, where's the frames? Over here. So 6 times 40. What is that? Like 260 or 240 a minute? Yeah, 240 a minute. Iron, 240 a minute of copper, and Steel is right here. Just not being pumped in because I didn't need it at the moment. Let's see. Here's steel. And that's 20 a minute for each of these, so 120 steel a minute. I'm guessing you need a lot more, huh?
Go ahead and save us time, unless luck says otherwise.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, just build more. Like this. What this place is more for crafting buildings. Not entirely for like supplying everywhere with everything that it could possibly need.
Yeah, we've already talked about the concept of we need to take one of the other floors and start turning it into a fuel factory. Make the iron frames be the next type of frame, and you can make as much. Make the iron frames be the next
Reinforced iron frame.
Gotcha. And
I'm also doing the same thing with copper, and is getting the whole electric frame.
Okay.
Unless there's like a different kind of recipe as well for frames.
This only has scrap, sand, and that.
Yeah.
Here's the recipe.
Wait, purple stuff. I see the one for the.
I think he means blue.
Says
Or is
my
it red?
gels. It set there's recipe for 10 for like iron frame for 10 iron slab, and then 2 says my gel, red gel.
I don't mean to be insensitive with the question, but I have to ask, Slice, are you a bit colored impaired? Because there's been more than one times where you describe a color that's very different than what I and Luck perceive. There's no shame in it. I know a lot of people who have like red-green colorblind or blue colorblind. And
Yeah.
I would rather be. No, I'm seeing it live and. Okay.
Probably on phone as well. So even smaller.
Yeah, that's a fair point. But I wanted to ask so that way I could.
Wait, on PC, okay.
If you were colorblind, I wanted to be mindful of it and not like be like, dude, are you colorblind? And you'd be like, yeah, dude, I kind of am. Oh shit, I'm sorry. You know, I was trying to be polite. Make sure that that wasn't the case. Even though it's not the case, I'm just like, yeah, just so you're aware, I know you're describing it as like a purple gel, but for Luck and I, there is no purple gel.
Yeah. But if you combine the purple and red, or red,
blue and red, yeah.
you get purple out.
Which I'm not going to lie, that was one of my first thoughts is there a research where you combine the two? Hopefully you're done with all this scrap. By now? You are.
It is very slowly getting more seeds here.
So to make the yellow cores, we're going to need, of course, 12 green cores, 10 gold bars, and 10 red bars. I have to say, of that list, the thing that I dread making the most is the green cores.
Oh. Is relay circuit and electric motor, yep.
Because getting gold ingot and the red ingot, we've been doing that. I mean, my goodness, we had to do 2,000 gold bars and 500 red bars. We're still working at the gold bars, but still, it's easily achieved.
Oh, like alternate recipe that gives relay circuit and motors.
Oh, I wasn't talking about relay. I'm talking about the yellow research cores. Okay, I will say this. I beat the game, and now I'm on the second tier of level 16. And I need 800,000 of the normal cubes. The one you need to beat the game. Yes.
Damn.
All I was saying is, compared, given that we need 3 items to make the yellow core, gold, the red ingot, and the green cores, of those 3 items, the green core is the one that I'm going, I don't want to deal with the green core. I am not going, oh my god, I don't want to deal with the gold, or I am not saying, I don't want to deal with the red ingot. I am saying, I don't want to deal with the green core. The reason I'm not too sad is I know Lux Mega Factory is going to help out with making those green cores.
Well,
Which I'm very happy about because I don't want to deal with the green cores. I already set up something and it's kind of a mess. But, you know, you're taking your time. You know what the end result is. You're planning it out for mass production. And I'm like, oh shit, we need green research now. And just set something up haphazard.
yeah. You should have seen my satisfactory world. How far I got it or before the lag was too much when I switched to stationeers. It was on my laptop. I was working on a train system that went like about a quarter of the way around the quarter of the way around the world, just because I needed like a bunch of sulfur, because I was working on making the turbo fuel in bulk.
My
Like, I had,
oil,
like,
my oil and my corium had a long way to travel. But not as much as I think you're describing.
Yeah. Because I was getting.
And I have to say, because you kind of said something, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's the real reason I stopped playing Satisfactory. The lag. Uh, but I was playing on, like, we all know my laptop is kind of not the greatest thing. That wasn't the laptop I was playing it on. Did I talk about my rocket fuel factory? No, you did not.
Alright, I do believe I am capable of making the lenses and actuators now.
Lenses?
Which would mean...
Sensor.
Yeah.
Sensor lens. Or
Yeah.
sensor block. That's why I'm like, lenses? Oh. It's sensor block. Gotcha. That's...
Let's see. Oh wait, no. I'm not...
Ew.
I got the carbon, I just need to hook up the iron and copper frames to it.
Alright, Hannibal, what are you trying to tell me? I think I know what you're trying to tell me, man, but let's see if you're right.
But I don't... Isn't Turbo Fuel the Rocket Factory or Rocket Fuel? No, isn't Turbo Fuel the Rocket Fuel? Or is that two different things on Satisfactory?
Blue research will be kind of iffy for a bit.
Oh, Rocket Fuel is made from Turbo Fuel. And Turbo Fuel is the one that needed the sulfur, right? Yes, okay. Fuel, and Turbo Fuel, and Rocket Fuel. Okay. Yeah, I just couldn't remember. And then iron frame right here. Is the last time I played Satisfactory was actually probably like really early in the
development.
No, really early last year.
Gotcha.
Sure. I just like, yeah, I should have moved this one over by one and then just pull from it down like I did up there. The assemblers are satisfactory. I'm gonna guess satisfactory.
I'll just go to guess factorial.
This game, oh. Okay. Let me hear you.
With the assemblers
the
added to your inserters and have a belt of 1 block and add a hub, and if you have what you have like a wall of belts, you just add it with whatever said at the start.
Well, like a sushi belt? So, with the assemblers, add your inserter and have a belt of 1 block and a hub. You have what here? All belts just added to yeah. Oh, it requires steel frame. No, with this. So where your housings will be, where the steel frame. Let me get up here. Is it like this? Where if I had like 5 more assemblers like that, I just have like one of these here. So it'll be like that, that.
Oh, we have low iron.
Oh, yours is on the floor. Okay. Yeah, I just like having a little area you can just, or have it so you can just walk around the majority of it.
You said you were automating sensor lenses? Or, now you got me doing that. Sensor blocks, you said you had them automated or you are getting them automated?
I could get them automated.
We will need them
Well,
for the
I mean-
drills.
Drill. Yeah. Do need, or well, I am making sand here. Just have to smelt that. You have like one Mark 1 or Mark 3 on you?
All my Mark IIIs are
Smelter.
in use.
Ah.
Why are you out? That's not good. You are out of sand. Oh, that's an issue. Remember, I even said that we need to not take things too quickly, and yep, now it's... Okay, the fuel's backing up, which means a lot of it's okay that... Alright, time to flip the reserves.
Okay, you're all backed up. Yeah, everything's backed up. Besides you. Okay. Backed up. You're just fine. I'm still making.
So glad we have unlimited jetpack now.
Yeah.
Terminal upgraded. Unknown and or classified technologies available. Report all activities. Activities not authorized.
There's my ingot. Ooh. So, oh, see, I'm guessing you need spectral cube then?
What were you looking at?
The cube recipes.
Again, I'm expecting that we're going to... So it's going to take... Oh, it actually requires only 300 green.
Yeah, but yeah, it needs the scannable.
So, I have a projection or prediction. This says spectral cube colorless. We're going to need to make different colored cubes moving forward, and that each color is going to be a different tier.
Yeah. Okay. And then Seismite ingot. I'm guessing that's in synthesis. Yeah. Crystal. There's that.
You just need to make the first colorless cube to beat the game. Oh, okay.
Okay. Um. Come over here. So this one I'm gonna make actuators. And then
So now it's time to get to level 16.
here. Which we don't even have access to that point yet.
So, do we know what's going on with our iron production? Because iron going to level 7 has started to crawl. I think I know. Please say I'm wrong. Please say I'm wrong. Actually, I'm not sure how to interpret this. Oh, I think I know how to interpret this.
Much bad.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
I could send you some iron.
Are you
Here.
making iron? Where are you
I'm
getting
making
your?
iron ingots?
All right, if you just send,
X-ray.
then
That's
send
what
it.
I'm getting.
Just send it to 7 if you can. What are you doing over here?
These were training and information terminals, Breaker. Scan them and then open up your databank to take a closer look at anything that hasn't been scrambled or lost.
So we're at 82% for equipment. 80 or 95 for expedition.
Wait, where are you seeing that?
B for database. 86% for flora. 100% on guide. 85% on machines. 100% on material. 83% on personnel. I'm guessing Mirage is the last one.
Mm-hmm. And then unknowns. Ooh.
Origins of Emerald. Oh, it's not what I would expect it to be. Although that kind of spoils that it is in fact true that Mirage is going to be in Ruby. Alright. But yeah, basically, because we decided to make our own biofuel on freight, we didn't pay attention to when the biofuel ran out on Victor, which means the biofuel ran out on Lima. Which means the iron isn't getting its biofuel, so we're not producing any iron out of Lima. Which makes me actually want to come over here. Because I am producing more biofuel than we need over here. That should help restore iron. I just told it to send all that biofuel over to Lima.
Okay.
Why are you shiny? And I thought we scanned everything in here. But you're shining and... Alright, I am heavily confused. Can you answer this quick question? Because I see this shining, but it's not scanning. It means you already did it. Okay. It just caught my eye, and I'm like, why is it shining? I thought it stopped shining if we scanned it. Alright, have a good evening. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I was on Excalibur. Because the whole reason I left Excalibur was to research why the power all of a sudden went poof. Alright, and that's a nice multiplier right here.
Total of 5 things in. And 2 out.
Oh, and I need the glass. Put the glass in there for now. And I really need to quit pushing that button for everything. When I just want one stack, I don't need to push the control to move all of it. Let's look at tech. Alright. Power crush. So if you put cetamite powder with Klein extract, you get more cetamite powder.
Okay. This one here will be this.
So yeah, those sensor blocks, we definitely need to make a lot more of them for these drills.
Oh, the drills themselves need them.
Yup.
Ah. I thought you were talking about the sand miners.
Nope.
Ah, yeah.
Because I'm now making the top drill bit. Nice multiplication to make, like, we have a butt ton of tier 4s. Like, it's crazy how much we have of tier 4s.
Yeah.
We just need to feed the automatic, the tier 2 thrashers into the system to get the Mark 4s. But each step, it gets multiplied by 4.
Okay.
So, yeah, we have a lot of Mark 4s. Which means if we feed the the stuff in right, we can make a lot more Mark 7s. Right now, the limiting factor on Mark 7s is those sensor cubes, or sensor blocks. Just like the limiting factor on the Mark 6s is the frames. Which hopefully will speed up now that iron is not a limiting factor.
How much iron are you using a minute?
Hard to say because a lot of it is using iron. Because, no, actually, about 80 ingots of iron a minute is turning into 13 of steel.
Okay.
And I need 30 a minute to get 20 steel frames. And I need 12 steel frames a minute.
Oh, you're doing that recipe for iron. Okay.
You mean for steel?
Or, yeah, steel.
Well, at the time, that's how we knew how to make steel, and I never went back and upgraded.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be 10,000 meters with that cycle.
I wonder just how fast you could drill or have it drilled. Because there's definitely got to be like a time limit for each drill use.
Well, right now it's drilling as fast as it can. Because right now
Like, is
this...
it running out a bit before the next one's added?
Yes, yes. It's adding at 4 at a time.
Mm.
Alright, so basically we need 4 more complete cycles. 3 more complete cycles.
Oh, it's down one.
So, do you have a lot of sensor blocks?
No, just hooked up the carbon to it. I need glass. Do you have a lot of glass somewhere?
Yeah. You actually, if you go down to, now, mind you, we can also make a lot of glass because we have a lot of sand just built up in several places.
Yeah.
Oh crap, that's right. I'm like, I had a spot where we were making crap tons of... Wait a tick. Wait a tick. Are you not getting... You're not getting sand anymore. So let's actually disable that. I just remembered that the spot that was making glass, I disabled. So there is some stockpile of glass on level 7. Like, in a chest.
Okay. Because I'm just hooking up, the relay circuit, and the only thing needed left is the actual glass for the sensor block.
Alright, I put all the glass in admin.
Okay.
Alright, so we need to figure out what to do here. Which is not gonna be fun. We do not have enough sand pump, nor is our... We do not have enough sand pump, and our fuel system is not adequate either. So the question is, how do we want to move forward to deal with the issue?
There's glass coming in.
Let's look at floor 10.
What's going to be soon to stop production is going to be the carbon bricks.
Alright.
And not getting enough of that. Mm.
I'm deeply confused.
You need a lot of glass for it. Well, gonna be making sensor blocks now.
It says there's a crate there and there's no crate. I am deeply confused. Alright.
So you want, what did you want the sensor blocks for?
The drill.
The drills? Okay. How many would you like?
As many as you can get me.
Which floor?
7.
7. What's the sensor block? Here's 48.
Which did not go very far, but
Oh, how much?
each cycle takes
32. Ooh.
up. Yeah.
So that was literally just one
Yup.
cycle.
Yup.
Okay, I got more.
Alright.
No. I'm just gonna hook it up. I'll send half for for me to use, and the other half for you.
Okay.
Which will for sure end up having mine get backed up. So
Oh, mine's probably going to get backed up because right now sensors are my limiter, but then after that it will be the red or the red ingot will be the limiter, and so on and so forth. But to get to level 15, we only need 3 more cycles.
yeah.
So about 80 sensor blocks will do the trick if did my math right.
Okay. Let me get this way. I will say the belts at the elevator do not look pretty.
I'm not going to be having any beauty competitions.
That would be 27. Those here's 72 sensor lenses.
Oh, sweet.
That should be what, 2 cycles, I believe.
That might actually take us over because there's 24 in there from the last bit.
So,
Yep, that's like perfect amount.
okay.
In fact, I need to go see if I have more of those red ingots since I've restored the sand.
Oh, yep. 2 of them already, or 3. 3 of the carbon frames do not have carbon bricks, or enough carbon bricks now.
I'm very tempted to take I'm gonna just assume we haven't done much with floor 4 and say we should probably set that up to just mass produce carbon bricks.
Yeah. Which you could get from plants.
Yeah, that's how I'm
Right.
getting it on.
Yeah.
That's how I'm doing it on 11.
Okay. Oh. I did not expect this problem. Oh, let's see.
Actually, we might have overdid it with the drill. Not that I'm going to complain.
Ah, yeah. Ooh, is this it? Please or no? Yes, no, yes, no. Possibly, perhaps. It is. It is the reason. 112,000 ceramic parts, and it has stopped production.
Let's go look at level 4, because I don't think we've done anything with level 4. We have not Okay, Hydro has a few things that are just in weird spots.
Okay.
There it is.
But yeah, the plant plant matter. Yeah, plant matter backed up, so Thorn extract wasn't being made.
Ah, gotcha. Well, you can
Which-
take that plant matter and make something with it so you can incinerate it.
It was I was making something with it. Ceramic parts.
Gotcha.
But the Mark II container filled up.
Alrighty. That looks like it's already been delivered. Nope. Alright. It's halfway there. Alright. And for giggles. And drill bit's almost done. Off it goes. Ready or not, here we come, level 15.
Excavation complete. Elevation to mech level restored.
500 meters more to get the next one.
100,000.
This area is restricted.
Right, yeah.
All operations are monitored directly by Command Group Pacific.
Ooh. I found a door, but it's locked.
Knock, knock. Well, it's... I feel like the doors that you enter is right here.
I'm coming back.
Right, like right next to it, but it's covered in sand.
Out of curiosity, you don't have any sand pumps on you.
No, it's not hooked up either. It can be.
Because he said something about only 14 is the grind. Makes me wonder how much sand we have to pump out of here.
Be like, what if it was just one and it was enough?
Basically.
That's what you're hoping, anyways.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm hoping.
Machine gun come over here. Grab you. Me. Me.
Alright, that's very interesting.
Oh.
Go to the top of the sand falls.
Oh, I went away. To hook up, sand.
Obelisk-like material.
Oh.
And it kind of looks like that's where the sand's coming from. Alright. I'm going to level 14, and I'm going to take one of the sand pumps. You can always put it back.
Here. Which I believe will be connected to this. I believe you to the correct one. This one harvest.
Right, so the sand recharge
Okay.
rate here is 5,850. We're gonna put some fuel in. And so we're gonna need 12 sand pumps on this level.
What building do I even need the sensor lenses for?
I don't know, I just needed the sensor blocks for the drill.
Oh, yeah, blocks. Guess what I need is actually the motor. Which I think I am. Yes, I am.
Did you need it for the sand pump?
Nope. It was the actuator.
Actuator, yep. And water wheel.
I got the water wheel. Oh, ran out of glass, so the sensor blocks have stopped.
Alright, that's... For now, I think it's okay.
Then I need iron mechanism. Brought in. Nope. Of course, jump a floor. Love it.
We're going to need to properly plot out before we start building the biofuel power factory. Because that system that I'm looking at, that's not going to be adequate. System over here, that's what's going to be adequate. We just have to, or let me say, this process is going to be what we want to use. We just have to optimize it. HP Glide Mark 8 gives you 150% of the ground speed velocity.
I like how we only use the rail in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Now actuators are connected. Just have actuators just have to travel.
I do believe that all purple and blue research has been researched. Oh. Oh, and just because
Oh, first actuators are coming in. There. It takes a full minute to actually make the sand pump.
So, some goals we need to set is like, I'm going to be trying to get that yellow research core unlocked. And then I'm going to pick, I'm guessing level 4, and just make it where we're producing gold cores on level 4. We need to come into freight, plot out and build the pure biofuel diesel mega factory to fuel the sand pumps, because we need so many sand pumps moving forward.
Okay.
And we need to better establish the drills logistics. Because to make it to level 16, we have, I mean, I'm just going to say 500,000-ish to go. Which, to be fair, at 500,000, like, let's round up and say we're at 490,000. We only have to do 49 cycles.
Yeah.
Mm. 1,568 sensor blocks.
A lot of glass.
Or we're going to have a lot of sand. I think I might call the stream a bit early. Because, well, you know what time I went to bed last night, and my cats had me up at 4.
Okay.
So I'm definitely feeling like the insomnia can only do so much. So I think I'm going to save the game, and we'll continue tomorrow.
Okay.
And hopefully tomorrow you'll also be able to, interesting, Twitch is telling me that shared chat is not going on. It doesn't matter though, we're ending the stream. But tomorrow you can possibly going over how to do the start and stop screens.
Okay.
So
I'll probably, like, yeah. And stream as well. Thanks for